I agree with this guy that's saying, yeah, D3 is just mindless fun. Enjoy it. Oh, I totally agree. It's enjoyable. That's what you want. Like I said, when you're totally wasted, man, that game is tons of fun. Rap battle apparently has been confirmed between me and Hitler coming up. So as soon as they figure out how to resurrect him, then
Nice.
we'll get that started.
I'll cast it if you want.
Nice.
I'll cast a rap
Awesome.
battle. Alright, so it looks
Gotta
like
have
Trap
rap
is
battles
coming out
with each
for
other, man.
STX. Sorry, what?
It's a trap.
Kiki. And his opponent will be... Anyway, Trap is Protoss, pretty sure. And it's gonna be Soulkey.
Hells yeah. Finally, we get to see a Protoss lose PvZ.
Or so you hope. Anyway, Soulkey, of course, Stars' ace player, somewhat taking Zero's place in that regard. And apparently is a Mega Gosu at StarCraft 2 as well, so perhaps lead the charge on that front. Trap is a pretty mediocre Brood War player, so I don't know how he's doing at SE2. Anyway, we shall see here. The map is going to be Cloud Kingdom, and if Soulkey can take this game, then that will end today's cast. That will be the last game. Then,
Oh really? Are there no more matches after this?
That's right. Stars will take the series, and that'll be it.
Oh snap! I thought there were like another 2 teams playing or something.
Well,
No, they're just gonna continuously play forever. Until they die.
All time.
That'd be good.
Dude, they've already been going for 10.5 hours, so... And it was estimated to last 8 hours.
They've had pretty short games too.
Yeah, they just run ridiculously long commercials. It's all been commercials.
Yeah.
There's no reason for this to have gone on this long. And spawning at the bottom left is the red Protoss. We have Trap. Spawning at the top right as the blue Zerg, we have Soulkey. Stars is up 1-0 in this SC2 best of 3. And let us see how this plays out. So actually the last CVP we saw on this map was Effort versus Lizzie in the ace match of CJ versus KT. And that was actually a pretty cool game. See if we can see something similar here.
I'm trying to remember what happened in that game.
Effort got Brood Lords and Investors too late. Died to a mortal push.
Right. That's right. He had an awesome setup to be able to max out really quickly because he took no aggression at all. But he didn't max, instead just took a 4th base, but he didn't quickly quick enough tech up to 5 tech, and his Brood Lords didn't come out in time. That was a pretty crazy game.
In the meantime, nothing crazy coming from either player. Looks like a 14 pool from Soulkey. Standard stuff. Pylon at the front for Trap here. Probably just going to do the standard Forge Fast Expand. And so I'm going to try and block this drone from making a hatchery. Drone looks like he got the first shot off. And of course drones are better than probes 1v1 anyway.
Yeah, good play by him setting the drone early. It's really important to send that early. Like, he doesn't have the minerals to make a hatchery, but it forces the probe to engage in, and that just like lowers their HP down. So if you send the drone when you have 300 minerals, then you're going to have to fight the probe for a while. You're not going to be able to get your hatchery up. If you send it early, the probe's forced to kind of block it in case you have the minerals. And then the probe gets too low to be able to engage. They either have to drop their pylon earlier, or they just don't block it, as we saw there. So nice play by the Zerg.
And I still don't see the Nexus place yet. So it looks like he went Forge first. Looks like now I see the Nexus on the minimap. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, it looks like the Forge is finished and the Nexus just now started.
That's a problem, man.
Yeah.
Because he let the hatchery go up. Generally, with a standard pull time like that, you want to either go Nexus first, or if you're going to bother to go Forge first, you want to get that cannon rush going on. Because otherwise, it's like you went Forge first, your opponent got a hatchery up really quickly, and that Forge doesn't do anything for you because you don't need the cannon that quickly. But it won't put him too far behind.
Indeed, looks like cannon, gateway, and extra pylon there to narrow the choke there at the front. Looks like just now taking his gas. Meanwhile, a third hatchery here at the third base of Soulkey. Double gas in the main of the Protoss.
Note the Overlord positioning. To be able to watch that third base, you really need to watch out for that really sketchy cannon rush that happens there. So he's being super safe, man.
Indeed.
Super duper safe.
I think it's difficult on this map though to cannon rush that third, given how close it is to the main, though, right? I mean, the Overlords will fly over there pretty quickly.
They do. It's just that there's like that one spot with the minerals. You can put down a single pylon, have your cannon stuck inside, and no Zerg can get to it, even with only a single pylon. That's the only reason that position is really scary.
Oh.
If you don't see it coming as a Zerg, you can't really deal with it. But yeah, if your Overlord's there, you're going to be totally set.
I did not know that. You can do it with just one pylon. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really sneaky location. Caught a couple Zergs off guard in some big matches and caused them to lose. So. Nobody ever loses to it anymore, though. After that, everybody always sends their Overlord there.
Alright, looks like the core is now
No
finished.
+1 in the way.
Indeed.
Soulkey better win this.
We'll see, man. He only made 2 links, so being very macro-oriented. We do have additional, I think, a Zealot on the way? Or is that a Stalker now? I can't even...
Looks like a Zealot
Wish
on
we had
production
production.
tab. Or wait, no, is it the unit tab? No, that's the unit
That's
tab.
the Units tab, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Stalker's out now.
Oh, okay, cool. So some early Zealot Stalker aggression. Perhaps. Maybe he just wants to clear out links and, you know, be able to take a third base or something. We haven't seen any set get thrown down from him, nor a third or fourth gas. And there's that standard 6-minute double gas from the Zerg. Should be seeing that, like, around 720 Roach Horn Evo Chamber. I'm so curious, man. What's this Protoss doing? He has the third gas now. There's nothing like a Stargate yet. No, it doesn't look like he's like trying to take a super fast third or something like that. He hasn't added any tech, so hasn't really revealed his hand yet.
Soulkey looks quite calm and relaxed here. Look at that, he's totally chill. Robo halfway done now.
Oh, Robo. Okay, so with +1 to Robo, and he's pumping out sentries, you know, this could lead up to 2 different things. It's either going to be like a big 2-base Immortal push with a lot of sentries and 1-1, or it's just going to be a quick third base with a lot of sentries and Immortals defending, observers positioned outside the third and outside the natural, which can be a great way to play this map. It's like really the most standard way. This Overlord might end up seeing that Robo, though. Stalkers should be able to deny it. If it sees the Robo, that's a pretty big tell, but with only seeing 3 gates and not seeing the Robo, he might suspect some early aggression. Oh, actually 5 gates total. And he sees all of those, man, so you might be a little bit worried about some early aggression from those.
But he didn't see the Robo, though, so he doesn't know exactly what's going on. Let's see how he reacts in the meantime. Looks like a few links moving out on the map. Gonna get some vision of those Zelnaga towers. In the meantime...
Yeah, just gonna take some map control. Wants to make sure that his opponent doesn't have a third, and he does have his Evo Chamber finishing. So, I don't know, man, do you think he's actually gonna just, like... You think he's going to take a third, or you think he's just going to use all these gateways and just go for some big, huge Immortal attack?
Well, so far we've seen some pretty aggressive play from Protosses. So I think he's going to try something here. But, I don't know.
Unfortunately, I don't think he made an Observer, did he? I think he's just rushing Immortals. Which could be problematic for him, because Burrow is actually a quarter of the way done. So, Burrow play can be really good to shut this down if you don't have an Observer with your army. He does have +1 armor on the way as well, so given the fact that he hasn't moved out to try to take a third yet, I mean, he could still do it, it would just be really late, but it is looking like he might just go for some huge bust here, considering he keeps avoiding making observers and just pumping out nothing but Immortals.
But it looks like his units might get trapped out here. Link's coming in from the backside, trying to get a surround up. He is going to grab a few of those crucial sentries. He's going to grab one more. No, not quite. Did he get 2 or 3 sentries, I think, went down there in that engagement. Really nice little move there. It only cost him a few Zerglings.
Yeah, excellent play, man. He has to rebuild those sentries. That's a lot of gas to be used up. He's still down to 6 sentries. Whereas after spending all that gas, he'd hope to be maybe at like 8 right now. So it definitely hurts Hopefully it hurts Protoss player here. But he still hasn't taken a third, nor has he moved out for an attack, so... And he still hasn't made a single observer. He's just making Immortals, man. It really does look like he wants to all in. Still, you can never tell. He might just drop the Nexus and just be like, ah. Oh, he does drop the Nexus. Preparing to, at least.
Yeah,
so, I'm really surprised, man. With no observer, that's hard to do.
Oh, looks like he just now has an observer, actually.
Oh, he does.
Because there was a borrowed Ling at his third, I think, so he needed that to even plant the Nexus down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, yep, just continuing to pump out those Immortals. We don't see any other...
Looks like Sayle... Looks like Soulkey doesn't have a lot of drones. Yeah, I don't understand there, but looks like he doesn't have a lot of drones, so he was really going for a lot of aggression with those early roaches, man. He wasn't like trying to build up a full 3-base economy and then max out. So that means his actual max will be later, but he has more opportunity to, you know, put on some pressure now. But he seems unable to actually apply that pressure. If he lets the Protoss get up a 3rd base freely and get all that gas, there's a lot of really tough timings to hit as Zerg, where you either need to be maxing right now and preventing that third from coming up, or you need to be fast teching up 2 Infestors, 2 Broodlords. Looks like that's what he wants to do here, but it might be one of those situations just like in that last PvZ we saw on this map, where it's just too late and a big Immortal timing could bust him out. He's going to have those Infestors out oh so quickly, and he really can't delay that Hive and that, you know, Broodlord tech at all.
Meanwhile, Soulkey...
If he's at 200 and the Protoss moves out and he has a lot of roaches, he's just gonna die. That happens every time. It reminds me of all the ZVP losses from maybe 8 months ago.
Looks like Hive on the way now, and I mean, he's keeping a bit of map presence with this Roachling. It's nothing too serious. Observer floating around now, just checking things out. Maybe Protoss Army is still just chilling back at home, orbing in a few more Stalkers here. I assume that's the income that they're showing there.
Yeah. Yeah, slightly better for a Zerg player, especially on gas, since double gas isn't set up yet for the Protoss. There's a Spire started, but notice it's about 40 seconds late. Generally, we're going to see that started right at the same time as the Hive, so his Broodlord tech could be really delayed here. Let's see if that ends up affecting his play, but he does have melee upgrades on the way as well as his ranged upgrades, as opposed to going for Carapace. So that does make it seem like he really wants to focus on, you know, having upgraded Broodlings, or at least having some, you know, upgraded Zerglings in his army. Interesting that he keeps his Roaches and Lings just kind of spread out on the map like that. I don't know if he's just waiting to counterattack if the Protoss moves out, or what, but he's got to be careful, because right now it looks like a Protoss player is going to move out and at the very least take some map control, if not go for some type of attack.
Yeah, he's countering.
And there we go, Roach is moving around the south side. Very nice counter, only 1 cannon there at the 3rd base. A couple of these warp gates might actually go down, as well as the Nexus, and looks like he's moving in. The probes evacuate. A few Roaches taking down the cannon, the rest going after the Nexus, it looks like. But here we go, the Protoss going into the 4th base of the Zerg. Queen goes down immediately, and it looks like Soulkey is just going to sack this expansion. He knows he doesn't have enough to hold this. There's way too many Sentries and Immortals and Stalkers. But he has taken down the Protoss 3rd as well, so I think that's a decent trade for him. Looks like the first Fungal goes off, catches a few units. Warp Prism is opened up, allowing him to warp in those units right at the front lines. He's going into the 3rd base. He might even take us out. If he can take out the 3rd base, that'll be huge. The drones coming off, are they running or trying to fight? Looks like they're actually running, but running the gauntlet there. Most of them do get taken down, and actually this could be really bad for Soulkey.
Oh, wow. You know, he might have been trying to fake that he has another base in the top left corner, like make him think, wow, all those drones are going over there, what are you doing? And then like send his whole army there, might be able to buy him time so the Protoss going straight to his natural, but looks like the Protoss player's too smart. He's not actually going to give him that time. At the same time, though, the counter towards his natural, he doesn't have a lot of sentries, can't really force it off effectively. He's going to lose all those buildings, but I mean, who's going to win in a base trace scenario here? There's such a larger army for the Protoss in the natural of Soulkey.
And it looks like this might... Oh, you know, he's burrowing, he's going underneath the force field. The 2nd force field doesn't even quite block it, I think. The Lings were able to run through anyway. A few random infested Terrans getting thrown in there, but still a giant Protoss army waltzing into the Zerg natural. And unfortunately for Hoppit, it looks like a bad position for Soulkey, although he has a ton of Spine Crawlers in his main. So many Spine Crawlers, oh my god.
Yeah, that's really going to help him out. But of course, Blink Stalkers, you can just blink back the hurt Stalkers. You can take out Spines pretty cost effectively, especially with the Immortals he still has in his army. So, meanwhile, though, the Roaches and Infested Terrans still doing a lot of damage to his main. This is going to be wacky, man. We're going to end up in a weird base trade, but I don't know how many drones actually escaped. I don't know how many probes have been able to escape here to be able to build, you know, buildings all over the place. He's actually just attacking with his drones right now, and the Roach is just kind of on attack move in the Protoss main. He's still mining right now, so he's actually getting a little bit of an economy up to be able to maybe go rebuild elsewhere. He still has 1,200 minerals in the bank.
Man, nice force field there, trapping those drones in the main base, finishing off the last of them, and those Immortals just now just completely demolished the Spine Crawlers. Meanwhile, Probes trying to flee, they don't know where they should go. There's roaches on all sides, the main base of the Zerg getting demolished here by the forces, by the Protoss forces, a couple of random Stalkers running away from Zerglings in the middle of the map, and it's just looking increasingly difficult for Soulkey now. He's down to like 57 supply against 74. His main base is completely gone. Protoss still has a few buildings left.
Less than 200 minerals also, so he can't just rebuild elsewhere.
In the main of the Protoss. What a
the last
boss.
hatch you can build unless he cancels it. I'm surprised you'd put it right there in vision, you know, just like kind of let the Protoss know where he's doing it instead of trying to take a ninja at the bottom right or something like that. But I think that pylon, yeah, that's like the only far away building that our Protoss player has so far, besides, you know, all the buildings that he just has left alive in his main. Those Infestors is going to prove to be unbelievably useful, just kind of rebuilding energy this whole time, but will it be enough? That is still a very, very scarily large Protoss army. 19 Blink Stalkers, 3 Sentries, and 4 Immortals. That is insane against only 15 Roaches and 6 Infestors.
Now, Protoss does have over 400 minerals, so he could build a Nexus if he had a probe somewhere. I don't know if he does, though. It doesn't. I don't see a red dot floating anywhere. I assume he actually just doesn't have any probes to make a Nexus. So he's actually just going to go in here and try and finish off the Zerg army. As you said, he's got so much stuff here.
He did lose one of those last probes. I think he still has 1 still alive, though, on the units tab. 7 drones still alive. So I don't know where that probe's hidden. It's hopefully in a good spot. He did lose that, you know, that pylon. So he's got to keep these buildings alive. He does have an observer with this army, so Burr not going to be, like, terribly useful. This is it, though, man. The Zerg army is trapped in here. Force field's going down. 1 Infestor drops immediately. A couple of Infestitarians getting dropped down, but those are just going to be picked off very quickly. And it's not looking good for Soulkey.
And there is the huge blink up. More Infestitarians being thrown down, but there's just almost nothing left for Soulkey. He's down to 27 supply here. And the drones are distance mining from the Protoss main, but it doesn't matter. And it looks like he's been eliminated. He didn't even type GG. Soulkey has been eliminated from the game, and Trap extremely happy there, taking it down. He will force it to a game 3 of SC2.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. That was one of those situations exactly like what we saw in the first PvZ on Cloud Kingdom, where as a Zerg player, you need to choose, like, there's 2 main paths you're going to take when the Protoss is trying to take a third like that. You either need to drone up a lot and then you just, like, max out roaches and try to deny the third as hard as you can, or you need to take a 4th base quickly, drone up really hard, not build a lot of roaches, just enough, like, just to be able to defend against, you know, early gateway timings. And get your tech up really quickly. And he kind of went half and half on either. He, like, built up a lot of roaches, but not quite enough to deny the third, just enough to just kind of sit around on the map not doing anything, and then tried to tech up and take a 4th base and go up to Infestor tech. You can't really do that. You either need to be rushing that tech up, or you need to be killing the Protoss third, and to just let the Protoss take a third like that without denying it, and then slowly try to take up to Infestors, it just doesn't work out with the timings. And then
like taking a time machine, man, back to 2010. Yeah. Reserved out on roaches and just died.
Exactly. You gotta use one of the 2 of the times. You can't get split half in between.